Got it.
I am live.
Okay, he got it.
Well, hello from America. Super Dave is live. Welcome in, listen well. Ox Roxley, Tyler O, Growler Thunder 51. Thank you for coming in. The link is in the chat. Chrysler Imperial, I appreciate that $2 super chat, man. Thank you. Is everyone still here? It says 0 in my chat, but it takes about 20 seconds to catch up here on StreamYard. I put the link in the chat for Beck from Oz. She's going to come in from Australia. Yeah, we have 4 in the chat. I'm going to hang up now on the phone. It's sunny and beautiful in Australia, everyone.
A little bit cool.
Hello?
Bit windy. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am. It's great to see you again.
Oh, you too. As always.
We are live.
We are live.
Hello, Rudy Stork. How are you? Let's keep our privacy, please. Thank you very much. Yes, there's privacy concerns in the community. I appreciate you coming in, my friend. Thank you very much.
So I can't see the chat at all. So I'm just relying on you, Dave, for the chat.
Yes, ma'am. You can't see the chat. I see it. Miss Ann Walsworth is in here.
Oh, hi, Ann. My friend from Arizona.
Chrysler Imperial. Thank you, my friend. How's things going in Australia?
Not good. Not good. Not good at all.
Morty. Hello.
Growler Thunder's right here.
Here in America, a man takes his daughter to the park, and the man gets arrested. There's a lot of things like that going on. I even have a story that in California there was 400 people at a party. And the police came and broke it up, and like 6 people got shot.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Medical.
They're enforcing this so-called 6-foot rule. Right now, it's just the police. Are they enforcing it like that in Australia?
Every single shop, every major shopping center you go into has the crosses on the ground, has arrows in our aisles now. We're supposed to only go one way. When we shop in the aisle, we go up one and then out one. Keep 1.5 meters, which is, a little bit under 6 feet. Growler and I have been breaking all the rules while we can. We are being the resistance, but in saying that, we're not going to try and get ourselves thrown in jail. But it's just, you're not supposed to leave home, even for me to walk my dogs like I always have on my videos. We're not supposed to leave home unless we are going to an actual proper destination to go and get food or an emergency. I'm still taking my dogs out. They're not stopping me. They're going to have to find me. I don't care. But I'll only do it the once, with the fine. But Dave, we've got some numbers here. People need to know this is what would you say?
A blatant, in your face mockery of us cattle. They're just throwing the numbers now willy-nilly. They don't care.
They're not
They want,
hiding.
yeah, they want you to see.
They're not hiding.
You know, so I think by that time that that happens, it's basically they're saying game over, guys. You know, we won. You know,
Yeah.
you know, so it's basically like a final nail in the coffin for us.
So
Someone in the chat named Rudy Stork said they had a drive-in church today raided, and the members were fined $500 each.
Yeah, well, they don't want people to go to church. That's what it is. They just don't want people to go to church. And I think, you know, with this social distancing and lockdowns and all this sort of thing, you know, it's, well, of course, it's shut everything, but I think it's aimed at Christians, you know, just fellowshipping together and witnessing, and so it's actually stopped that. So that's probably another line you could look into.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dave, we have some numbers
Yes,
here
ma'am.
from Dave. We have some numbers here from our wonderful media. As we all know, that I don't watch television, so I have to really we dig for this because we do not watch TV. And so this is what our media is telling us. Now, guys, anybody with discernment that knows the occult will understand the numbers I'm about to give you. Okay, the death toll so far in Australia today, as it stands, on the media was 61. But listen to this, we had 6,300 diagnosed cases in Australia today. And then, but to top that off, for the F Masons, should I say, we have 33 new cases in 24 hours. 33 new cases in 24 hours. You can't make this stuff up, okay? People here are being fined for organising Tinder dates, like literally. And what's this? A Band-Aid hunt.
Yeah.
So we had a Band-Aid hunt in
what-
Queensland.
What type of fines are you talking about?
What do you say?
The fines, how much are they? They're at
$1,300 and something each fine. Now,
Wow, now that's a big fine.
Yeah. Now,
tell it like it is.
well,
Tell it like it is. Says they can't enforce the fines as we are under medical martial law, and all fines must be given by a medical practitioner, and they won't stand up in court.
Oh, if I get a fine, I'm not paying it. There's no way. In Australia, they are boasting that they have fined so far, just since it started, $800,000 in fines have been given out in Australia. And we saw one right in our front yard. We saw it happen. We did a covert operation. We snuck up in the bushes and watched these coppers, police, find these people who had 3 people in the car. And that's all it was. And she got a $1,392 fine.
Yeah. Wow. Did nobody resist?
No, she did say something to him because they said, you've seen this on the TV. You've seen this on the radio. So she did do a bit of a rah, 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 you know, back to him. But, you know, the police, you can't resist much.
Because you're going to be thrown in jail anyway if you do resist, because they're not stuffing around with it. I mean, yeah, I mean, the police.
Can I take 1 minute and show while you're talking? Somebody asked in the chat what I mentioned about this California party.
Yeah.
Y'all just keep talking if you will, please, and I'll share the screen. You know, there's a lot of great information. I'm sorry. There's a lot of great information, you know, out here that we're learning what's going on.
Well,
I'll let y'all go ahead.
Yeah, we all need each other. We that's why I'm in touch with you, Dave, and Anne, Miss Wellsworth. We're all keeping in touch. And I hope Christopher Levins is watching this. If you're there, Chris, can you please just say hello? In Australia, they're saying that the bushfires has helped spread the illness. It's the illness.
Stop.
Oh, it's helped stopped it. Is that what? Stem?
Yeah.
Oh, stem it.
Stem.
Sorry, I'm reading from his notes. They says the bushfires here help stop the spread. However, per capita, we have more people infected than you guys.
Yeah.
Because we only have 22 million and we have 603,000 cases.
Yeah.
Which is just 3 sixes, man. Think about it, guys. 6,000.
And you're talking per capita, though. You're talking more percentage-wise.
Yes, per capita, we're only 22 million, but we have 6,300 infected, 61 deaths. This is all BS.
Let me read this article. California party that violated stay-at-home order and drew around 400 comes to a bad end with 6 shot. Now, this is from Fox News. I won't take but a minute. A huge party in California that defied the state's stay-at-home orders to combat the illness came to a bad end Saturday with 6 people shot. Deputies responding to a call about the shooting discovered that it happened at a party being held at an apartment complex in Bakersfield. Chrysler Imperial asked where? In Bakersfield. Unfortunately, it came to a bad end. Let me go on to scroll a little bit more. The sheriff's office said there were 6.
Dave, I'm
said
sorry.
There were 6. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt. It's funny how it was 6 shot. Were they actually killed?
Yeah.
Right here. The sheriff's office said there were 6 victims, including a juvenile, female, and 5 adults. All were transported to an area hospital, expected to survive.
Fake. They use the number 6. 6 shot. They just want to cause fear. They're just putting the fear of themselves into us so we obey.
Well, they've deliberately shot 6 people.
Either way, even if they deliberately shot 6 people, they are putting the fear into everybody. Everybody's falling for it. Mostly, you can't believe the amount of people here wearing masks. Everywhere we go, people are wearing masks. We refuse to.
Yeah.
We will not. We fear not.
I work around hundreds of people every day I go into work. I really do. I've not worn a mask one time.
Does your workplace actually does it actually enforce these social distancing rules and masks and that sort of stuff as well, your workplace?
They're not enforcing masks, but they are enforcing social distancing, yes.
Yeah. So I think another way enforcing social distancing is actually what it's doing, it's driving people away from actual contact. So it's making their hearts like stone, like cold hearts, because humans actually thrive off, or most do, of fellowship and friendship and contact and that sort of thing. So they're actually stopping that. So they're trying to ruin the social fabric, I think.
Well said.
They're trying to keep you really from being, from communicating a lot with people, I believe.
We've got the sun going on here.
Okay, sorry.
We got to
welcome in Chrysler Imperial, Ox Wrotsley, Rudy Stork, Ann Walsworth, Chrysler Imperial, Clinton Bryant, Tonic Zimp, Runny Egg, thank you. Killer Whale, thank you for coming in. AIFG, I'll let y'all proceed. Let me see if I missed anyone. Billy's Big Top. Thank y'all for coming in. Tell it like it is. Samantha's Cosmetics. We have 22 in the chat, y'all. I didn't want to miss anybody. CSD UFO updates and Amy Amore. Amy Amore, thank you. And Miss Ann Walsworth, I appreciate y'all.
Hi, Anne. How are you? Hope you're okay. Hope the children are going well. I'm praying for your children, and hopefully, they come to the mercy and grace of Yeshua. So, all we can do is pray. The more we pray, the more the more power we have together to try and change as much as we can before things really start to go hard.
I think a lot of us need to not push the system. I think we need to protest, in a peaceful way, and show these people that we're not in real defiance of what's going on, but that we still believe and have our freedoms no matter what they say. Freedom is at our heart. It tugs and pulls at us, and they're not going to take our freedoms away, and that's what we need to do, is stand for our freedom.
Yeah, well, you see, the problem is, Dave, with the American Constitution, it's null and void at the moment because the military and FEMA have taken over. So, I mean, your rights and freedoms have been taken over because they say the president has lost his seal. The Pope has actually stood down as well. So it's sort of like he's saying to me that, and probably to quite a few other people, that I think the Antichrist will be making his way onto the scene very quick. And with this Comet Atlas, that is wormwood, actually. That is wormwood. And
I agree.
And I mean, if you have a look at all the empty hospitals, why isn't there anyone in the hospitals? I mean, they're sort of like waiting for a massive event to happen, and I think it's going to happen. Very, very soon.
All the telescopes in the world have been shut down for the second time.
Yeah, for the second time. So I mean, the Pope has stood down. President Trump has. There's no seal. The military and FEMA have taken over the US Constitution.
We've got all the military movements.
So, we've got all the military movements. Though it's like a game of chess. They're just putting the pieces into place. I'm sure that they've got everything into place. And when the crap does hit the fan, look, don't be surprised in America if this could be way out. This is just what I think. But I think you might see a rise of a lot of blue hats and Chinese soldiers. You never know.
There's a couple comments here. CSD UFO, it's going to get hard to get back to where we were.
Yeah,
okay, one more. We have a question for you, Miss Beck. Billy's Big Top asked, so Beck, you think the response has gone way too far then, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is next level. We're in the Terminator movie. We're about to enter the Terminator movie. It's just ridiculous. We've woken up also in Groundhog Day. They prepared us for this. They prepared us. They told us their plans. There is some sort of pact that they have to tell us what they're doing, guys. And if you're not looking for it, you will not find it. But you will find it if you ask. Just ask him. He will show you. You have to not fear this, what's coming. But I tell you, it's coming. And it's coming now. the urgency that we've both had for 2.5 years. He's one of my subs. He lives with me now. He's one of my first subscribers. It's like as if you moved into my house, Dave. That's the same here. You know, we joined up together, and now we have Holy Spirit power because we're together. You know, he's my brother. He's my brother. My husband's inside. You know what I mean? And we just know what's coming. And what's coming, if you're not prepared, all I can say to people is this. I've said this over and over and over. Anything that makes you stop being able to be in a part of society, anything that stops you buying, selling, or trading is the mark of the beast. You will be in the system if you take that. It will change your DNA as well. You will break out in boils at the end. It is final death for those who take it. Those of us who don't, yes, we may have to die for this. Be prepared. Don't sit back and think you're going to get raptured. We don't know. Be prepared. I've imagined laying on the table and watching the blade come down. I've imagined it. I've gone through it over and over and over. I've imagined being shot. But I will not imagine being tortured. I will not. I will not. So they're not going to get me. And I have to say, everybody who's listening, please go on to Richie from Boston. He's got 2 channels, Richie from Boston and Richie from Boston 2. That man is the only one. There's a couple I trust, but that man is right on point. He is not a shill. That's what they wanted you to believe from the beginning, because he's telling you the truth.
He's ex-military as well, which gives him a lot of credibility, which is the same. I'm not sure if I got credibility, but I was in the military myself. So we know at some point, up to some point, what's happening and what the military do have. And I can tell you what, people just don't know. First of all, what the military have, and you just, secondly, don't know what's coming. So you really have to get your house and house in order. And
this is our house.
Yeah, and spiritually prepare, I think, is the most important thing. You know, you've just got to think long term. You've got to think eternally. You can't think short term. You've got to always think long term.
Hey, dudes, you're going to die anyway.
Yep.
Okay? Either way, if you got old, you're going to die, right? But you, people, are the end-time generation, and it is a really hard thing to accept. I know that. It's a very, 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 very hard pill to swallow, and it's been hard. We've grieved. I've cried a lot of tears. I feel like Jeremiah, the crying prophet. I'm always crying sometimes. Hey? I'm always crying and then I come good. But the crying is it's not fear. I cry and I grieve for the world. I really, really do. For those who really can't see this, I grieve for them. And I have this joy as well. But then again, on the other hand, I know that this is a spiritual battle. All this was ever about in the beginning was the Father and Lucifer. And I don't know why this is happening. I don't know why we're part of it, but I do not question my Father. He made me. I love him. And he sent Yeshua, his only son, like I've got a son, you know. My son, I love him. I could not imagine sacrificing my son for all these sinners, you know, the people that don't care. Well, that's what he did. It's huge. And any of you out there with a son know what I mean as a mother. My firstborn, was my son. I can't say that. I couldn't do it. So how did he do it? He loves us that much, guys. That much.
Guys, I'd just like to say as well, if you want to have a look at the main, what's happening with end times and prophecies, and back it up with scripture. Can people please go? I find him extremely learned. He believes in the pre-tribulation rapture, and I don't. And his name is Dr. Gene Kim.
Yeah.
And he's on YouTube, and he knows that Bible back to front
Yeah,
like
guys.
I've never seen.
Yeah, go subscribe to Dr. Gene Kim.
Doc-
Absolutely.
Dr. Gene
I
Kim.
was going to show this short story here. I don't know if anybody knows about this. German police were attacked with stones and iron bars while enforcing the social distance measures. Police in Germany were attacked with stones and iron bars while attempting to disperse a large group that had gathered outside in Frankfurt last Friday in violation of the lockdown orders.
Well, good to see someone fighting back.
So I was just wanting to share that story. Also, like I did the one in California, 6 people were shot in California, I guess. But yeah, they're trying to enforce this social distancing and keep people apart.
Yes.
I've heard a lot of stories, and I saw a video today that I can't wrap my mind around where I saw it. It was about even in the Congress, where they had discussed whether if this was a live event. You know, they called it a live. They called it a live exercise.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
The next, look. I was discussing with my sister Beck. The next big event would be, I would say, the arrival of the Antichrist, along with Wormwood, and maybe as a lot of people have talked about it. In 1985, Ronald Reagan said it at the UN. You know, if there's ever a threat from outside this world, we would forget all our common differences and common problems, and we'll all band together. So, I mean, to sort of like people will be screaming out for a vaccine, or people will be screaming out for a savior or something like that. And you know, this is what I think. I'd rather say what I think and what I've theorized. Yeah, I think there will be sort of like a fake alien invasion, and they're going to be the answers to all our prayers. That's what everyone will think. And I tell you what a distraction and what a delusion that would be to, you know, for everyone to believe in a fake so-called higher intelligence.
There will be.
Do y'all have?
There will be delusions.
Do y'all have a
that will even deceive the elect, if possible?
Do y'all have a clue where that video is? Maybe you've seen it too. It called it a live exercise, but I'll pull it up in a few minutes.
Yep. Yeah, Mike Pompeo said that
on the White House.
Yeah,
the White House YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I'm not
It
sure
wasn't that. It wasn't that Israel channel. What's that Israel channel?
Israeli News Live. Israeli News Live. Yes.
It might have been that.
Dave, I am a moderator on Stephen Danoon's channel. Everybody needs to just.
It might have been that channel.
To Yana and Steve. Okay. These people.
Yes, ma'am.
These people risking their lives. We're all risking our lives doing this. We really are.
Yeah.
It doesn't. We are not scared. We will not go down without a fight.
We are not appointed to the Father's wrath.
No.
So, you know, we can take comfort in that, I say. And, I mean, you know, we do what we have to do, you know, be wise as serpents, as gentle as doves. Yes. So, you know, that's how you've got to operate in the enemy's backyard and turf.
I don't think it was on that channel. I'm trying to pull it up and search it.
It was on the White House.
Yeah, I was going to show that video if I could find it. You know, it's a live exercise.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
Ma'am?
can't
yeah.
remember exactly
No,
where
Mike
it is
Pompeo
anyway.
said it.
Yeah, but we
yeah.
don't know which one.
It was it was just a they do 3 updates a day, and it was just the coronavirus task force. You know, and yeah, Mike Pompeo, and when Mike Pompeo actually said it was a live exercise, you saw Trump behind him, sort of like raise his head a little bit and go, yeah, it's a live exercise. So Trump didn't say it's a live exercise, Pompeo did, but you can see Trump sort of like in a bit of a surprise look at Pompeo and agree. So yeah, I mean, well, when you see the military and he says it's a full military operation, you got military and FEMA taking over. That means your constitution is null and void. You don't have any rights anymore. I think that life will never get back to where it is. There's been too much
No.
economic damage around the world. There's just aeroplanes just lined up at airports in, you know, basically in mothballs. You know, so I mean, as Richie from Boston said, you can't smash the economy twice. It's got to be done once.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's and they've
Thank you, Mr.
actually
President.
achieved that.
Address.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they've actually achieved maximum economic destruction, but it's really going to be felt in the next month. Here in Australia, we've got at least 800 people losing their jobs a week.
Yep.
So you know, there's going to be up to 2 billion unemployed. I mean, the economy can't sustain
You
that.
don't come back from that.
No.
Nothing will be normal
I've
again.
heard
Even
that-
in your head. Nothing.
I've heard
will be
that
normal.
20%.
It just
I've
really,
heard that 20% of our economy workers are down. You know, are out of working.
No, 50%.
You got 50%, Dave, and even the petroleum and oil markets took a 40% hit as well. Hence why petrol is $1 a litre here.
Oh, it's so cheap.
Yeah.
It's 99.9 cents.
Yeah.
Ha ha.
So in 666
999.
inverted, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it.
Yep.
And it hasn't been.
Thank you, Premier Hale.
Our petrol here, guys, has not been under $1 for 15 years. Easy.
Can I play this 3-minute video, please?
Yep.
I found a video with him. Secretary Pompeo delivers remarks. All right. I'm going to start it. Thank you, Premier Hale. Here it goes.
The efforts that we've been engaged in to push back against
Let it
the
buff.
Chinese virus. I want to assure the American people that, as President Trump just said, your State Department, your entire national security team is staying focused on the other diplomatic challenges around the world. Those include reducing risk to America from Afghanistan, holding the Iranian regime accountable for its malign activity, and our counterterrorism efforts against ISIS remain a priority for our team. Our number one priority across those mission sets remains the protection of the American people. The President and our team are very focused on it. I'll take this moment, too, to thank my team, State Department team, who's working long hours all around the world to take care of Americans who are stuck in places around the world. I'll talk about that more in just a minute. You've all seen Dr. Birx with me, State Department officials who's doing.
It'll come right back.
Yep.
It's all right, Jazzy. Jazzy.
I'm sorry about this.
You can just. Jazzy.
I'm just trying to get the words out of it. I'm just trying to get the words out of his mouth for everybody to hear.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know, you know, what's going on, and
Yep.
if they hear with their own ears a live exercise, you know.
Absolutely.
They probably still won't wake up.
It's getting late. The hour's getting late. You better, if you're going to get on
Great
the
work.
train,
All the State Department team here in Washington and around the world that are working overtime to help us push back against this pandemic. Under the President's leadership this week, we've taken 2 important steps. First, as President Trump announced on Wednesday, the United States and Canada jointly agreed to restrict all non-essential traffic across our border. This decision goes into effect tonight at midnight. The restrictions will be reviewed after 30 days, and they exclude traffic and movement across the border for work or other essential reasons. We're grateful to have such an outstanding friend to the north who is committed, as we are, to defeating this virus. I also want to announce today that the United States and Mexico have agreed to restrict non-essential travel across our shared border. Both our countries know the importance of working together to limit the spread of the virus and ensure that commerce that supports our economy continues to keep flowing. Here too, the United States is glad to have a friend who's working side by side us in the fight. Secretary Wolf will talk a little bit more about the details of how we're working alongside our partner in Mexico to keep our southern border safe and secure as well. On another note, yesterday the State Department issued a level 4 global travel advisory. This means that all international travel from U.S. citizens should be avoided. In countries where commercial departure options remain available, U.S. citizens who reside in the United States should arrange for immediate return to the United States unless they're prepared to remain abroad for an extended time. If you choose to travel internationally, your travel plans may well be severely disrupted. And finally, I want to talk about the disinformation that people are seeing, both on Twitter and around the world, some of it coming from government, some of it coming from other individuals. Just urge everyone, as they're seeing information that at one time suggested somehow this virus emanated from the United States Army, this information about lockdowns that are taking place. Every American, indeed, people all around the world should ensure that where they turn to for information is a reliable source and not a bad actor trying to create and flow information that they know is wrong. This is a tough fight. The American people are tougher. Our diplomatic teams are working around the clock to help them keep safe both home and abroad. And we're showing once again the global leadership that America has always delivered. And it's been great to see countries around the world rally behind what President Trump and our team are doing. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
He didn't say it there.
No,
I'll be
might
dang.
have been yeah. I'm sure everyone's seen it. I've seen it as well. I've gone through it a few times. So, like I said, the military and FEMA have taken over the American Constitution, which is null and void now. So, I don't think that America will actually get their rights back. I really don't, because it's just gone on. It's
totalitarian.
it's gonna
it's the new world order.
it's going to they're going to keep lockdowns going. They're going to keep saying, oh, you know, we've had another 100 test positive. You know, we're just going to keep the lockdown going. So until the next big event, and then we go from there, I guess.
What do you think the next big event will be?
Yeah,
I hear a lot of promises that the economy will be restarted and things like that.
How can you crash an economy?
I heard a report today that I think in New York that so-and-so people had died. I mean, and we know that they're tagging people that's having strokes.
Yep.
Tagging, it doesn't matter what they pass from, they're tagging them with this illness. We know that.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. You know, each hospital, if they can tag you with that, or since they do, they get a bonus. They get a $13,700, $13,700 bonus. They do.
Yes.
I mean, that's crazy, man. A lot of people don't know that hospitals are getting bonuses for tagging people with the illness.
Yeah, he's trying to get on. Tell him it's all one word, because that's where he's talking.
I was asking, what is the next big event? I mean, we don't know. And they're promising to start the economy, to restart. And then I hear people on the radio and stuff and that they need to start it in this area or that area. What do you have to say about it? Are they saying that in Australia?
Yeah, everything's the same. This is This is the start of the global movement. That's all. I don't like to use the word global. I hate that. This is the start of their order. The next big event, we have talked about this. We have truly, truly looked at the seals in the Bible. We have looked at everything. And the next big event will be war, whether it be fake. They could just say that they're all fighting, but they're not, but they will do something. And it will be just to get their end game. Guys, you have to look into the Georgia Guidestones. It took me nearly 3 years of research to get where I am here. And I mean, this was every day. Every day. This has never stopped. I've still kept my life, my family, and everything. Growler's had pop blood vessels in his eyes from researching. We really, really know what's coming. And all I can say is what Richie says: hit your knees, take your pride away, accept that Yeshua died for you. You do have a creator, you have a Father in heaven, you don't live on a spinning ball either. You are in a terrarium, in a fishbowl terrarium, basically.
I'm telling young people and different people on my job, and I shouldn't be in a way that this thing is a hoax. And they go around the corner and they kind of sniggle and stuff. I'm like, look at the main highway out there. If the numbers are like they saying, and this is, I use analogies. There would be ambulances up and down the highway. I said, take a look around. I said, I've been in here for months now. Hadn't wore a mask one time. And these people walking around with masks and everything else. I'm like, do I look like I have it? I said, it's a hoax. I'm trying to wake people up, and I even have them coming to my channel. I hope some are watching, and please keep our privacy.
Thank you.
There's a lot of people here. Y'all have convinced me. At first, I couldn't come to terms with this thing. But now I'm starting to see it's a hoax.
Take over in a minute. I'm gonna have a break.
It took y'all to wake me up. This great YouTube family, this great community, and there's channels in here. Thank you for that super chat, Premier Hale. I appreciate it.
There's channels in here that are my subscribers.
You hit me up with that super chat.
Oh, you got a super chat. Good on YouTube for making most of it.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, YouTube. Go hard.
But it's going to take to keep pushing and pushing, to wake people up. And one young man told me, he said, Super Dave, you make a lot of sense. I'm starting to see what you're saying.
I just want to say to everybody who's here, we're doing this because we care. And otherwise, why would we waste our time? Seriously, I got so many other things that I could be doing. This is a staged event to crash the economy, to bring in the digital system that you need to be hooked into so there's no cash anymore. And you will be hooked into a system, and that will be the beast system. And this is as real as I am real sitting here talking to you, because you can hear me. This is real. Guys, we are living in a book. We are living in a book. The Bible. We're living in a book. Living in a story. It's real. And we're at the end of that book. So you need to all hit your knees and read the book of Revelation. It's like Richie says, I get so frustrated. I'm being nice here now, right? But, Growler knows how frustrated and angry I get. I am a really fiery person. I'm not some sit back and walk over me person. No way. And maybe that's why he chose me. I don't know. Many are called, but few are chosen. I didn't want this job. I didn't want this, you know. I didn't want this job, but I've got it and I'm doing it because I care about you people that I can't even see, right? It doesn't make sense, right? But it does in the spirit. Everything makes sense in the spirit. It doesn't make sense in the flesh. This is what we need to try and understand. We need people to understand. All this is about is to get their new world order organized. This illness, it's not an illness. It is a staged event to crash the economy. Simple. I'm making it simple for you. I am not lying to you. I am serious.
Flying Free says InfoWars had a report that the mask and tests from China were proven to be contaminated. Even I've heard the test kits themselves are contaminated with this illness.
Well, what does that say? What does that tell you? Then everyone's going to test positive. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And there could be nothing in them, and they say there is anyway. I mean, why do we believe anything these people say? Anything. Because they're not people. We're being run. The head of this, they all bow. There's fallen angels. You want to get really deep? Wow. I know a lot. I know too much. What I know just shatters me when I get to the deep darkness of the top of this. It's horrible. I've been through so much trauma. I can't tell you because of this. So much trauma in my life. And he'll back me up on that.
Yep. Yep.
And you too. We've just been, you can't believe what we've been through. And him, oh my gosh, I can't believe what he's been through to get here. We're both living, walking miracles. We never
Have y'all tried
to this job.
Have y'all tried to go in public and stuff? In Australia. I had a couple questions, and I had some questions in mind, and I done lost them. This was like yesterday. Did you read your comment? Can you find it?
I
Can
couldn't.
I read it in my last live stream. It'd be nice if you read it because it's
Dave,
from somebody and put a comment in your video.
Was it my last video, Dave, or was it another one?
Last.
I really couldn't find it, Dave.
It makes a heck of a lot of sense. And people, if they could just see, let me look. It's pretty much, your channel with your comment. It is your last video. Matter of fact, it has a second of your pregnant daughter in it.
Yeah, I know. Isn't she
I was like,
lovely?
wow.
To say, guys, I just want to tell you we've got another bot that's getting around. It's called PayPal, and it will leave things like epic. Shouldn't. I got to get rid of that comment.
It's from Rob Osborne.
Yeah,
the world is on house arrest.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the one?
Yeah.
You know that comment. That's a long comment. I realize that.
Do you
but
want me to
that'll
read it?
wake a lot of people up.
Do you want me to read it?
If you would, please. I feel it every time I read that comment. I've read it 3 or 4 times. I just can feel it that it's so true in what the person is saying.
Okay, well, I've got it. Are you ready? Everybody listen to this. This is someone who knows who he's talking about. His name is Rob Osborne. The world is on house arrest. Gloves are off. Are you awake yet? We are seeing the most draconian measures enforced at all levels of government that we've ever seen in our lifetimes. And yet, rather than being alarmed by the things going on, so many of you applaud. People are being arrested for spending too much time outside, and you applaud. Pastors being arrested for daring to hold churches, services, and you applaud. A child's birthday party is raided by the police, and you applaud. A young woman is ticketed for going on a leisurely drive alone, and it's deemed non-essential travel, and you applaud. A parade of school teachers and administrators who wanted to drive through neighborhoods and wave at children is busted up by the cops because they were non-essential, and you applaud. A lone paddleboarder in the ocean on a beach without any other people around is arrested because he's violating quarantine orders, and you applaud. People being denied life-saving medical treatment because they're not a priority right now. It's non-essential and is deemed by the government as the entirety of our medical system is focused on one thing, and you applaud. Businesses are being forcibly closed and padlocked, and owners being arrested for refusing to shut down, and you applaud. Dairy farmers and soon other farmers are being incentivized to stop dairy farming and to sell their herds, and you don't seem to understand the implications. You're being told to use the hotlines and online forums provided by your local governments to report your neighbours who won't obey, and you comply. You sold people out day after day for not obeying government edicts. And if any of us dare to question what's happening, you lecture about how we're a danger to society and we just don't care about people dying. You've somehow managed to convince yourselves that people whose lives are affected by a illness are much more important than the people whose lives are being destroyed, and in many cases leading to death, by the effects of a worldwide economic shutdown and impending worldwide depression, the likes of which no one has seen before. At what point will you start questioning what's going on? How far does the government have to push you? Are you jolted awake from your slumber? How far are you willing to go with this? How far are you willing to go with this? If they told you to load your families onto train cars so you could be taken to illness protection facilities for your own safety, would you do it? Please say no, you wouldn't. Yes, you would. That much has become painfully obvious to me, and the whole time you'd be shaking your finger and yelling at those of us who refuse, accusing us of being a danger to society and not caring if people die. But they don't have to load you onto the train cars and take you to the illness protection facilities or force you to comply because you do it voluntarily. They control your mind. They control through fear. They control you by convincing you that the world is a scary, dangerous place, but they're here to protect you. They're here to care for you as long as you obey. They know that as long as you're locked inside your comfortable home with your Netflix, your Hulu, your Twitter, your Facebook, your YouTube, your Instagram, your phone itself, while they're going to dangle a cash check in front of you like a carrot on a stick, you'll comply. No force is necessary for the majority of the herd. You are imprisoned willingly, and you're too blind to see it. That's well said. And that was Rob
That's well
Osborne.
said.
Rob Osborne left
That's
that comment on my channel. So if you want to see that comment, you go to Beck from Oz and you go to the latest video I did. It was a bit of a fun video we did, but we actually told you all that you're all effed, okay? I don't want to swear, but I did on my video. But if you're not effed,
in a way.
If you see
in a way that touches that. I mean, it touches me to read them words, and I've read it, and I've read it, and I've read it. There's your link, because how people are complying. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a video I looked at today how people are going to start suicide and start drinking and going to drugs and things, and a lot of people's going to need help after all this. I know it sounds crazy, but the only help,
It'll
the
just
only
get
real help, is God. The only real help, y'all, is God. I mean,
That's right. That's right, Dave.
It's your only hope.
It's your father. He made you.
Mm.
He made you. Your father. He does love you. All they're trying to do is hide him. It's all about hiding what's really going on. That's what the globe was designed to in the beginning. I don't want to get into that too much, but it was a big lie. And when he opens your spirit and opens your spiritual eyes, they never go back to normal. We know we are never going back to normal. And the only reason we have a plane going over, oh wow, amazing, is because we have a very small airfield down here. Now, I'll tell you something for nothing. We live on the major air highway, right, to the Brisbane airport, which is a fairly big city in Australia. Actually, Brisbane is the biggest city in Australia.
No.
Yes, it is. It's spread out.
Oh, okay.
It's done. We've got no planes. How are we going to survive? There's no planes. There is no domestic Virgin, Jetstar, nothing. They're supposed to run a week from Sydney to Melbourne. They're not running one a week from Brisbane to Sydney. They're just not doing it. What's happening?
well, they know if they crash the world economy, that's where this world money, this world government, this world bank
Sure.
is going to step in and control everything financial,
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's it, mate.
You have to crash the whole world economy
Correct.
to put
To
in
replace it
one
with the one
world
digital
economy.
Yep. That's what's happening. It's it's quite simple when you see it. It's so brilliant. The plan is so good. You're going to have to wait a minute. The plan is so good. I'm going to finish off, Dave, by saying this. I'm going to get out of here.
I'm done.
I'm going to finish off by saying this. Hit your knees. Give up your pride. Humble your spirit. And ask for forgiveness. And take the free gift that was given. Your creator loves you. He really does. We don't know how much. He's giving me signs after signs, isn't he? We are having dudes, we're having miracles. We're having signs in our face.
Yep.
And it's only our mustard seed of faith that he's working with.
Yep.
But our faith's growing. It's getting strong.
Of course.
We're getting strong.
Mm.
We're going to be a force to be reckoned with. Just like Richie and Mike Decker. What Richie said, don't let them take you. No, by any means, don't let them take you.
Yes,
That's
ma'am. I
it.
know your time is up.
That's it.
Thank you so much. You promise to please keep us updated with what's going on in Australia?
Absolutely.
Please.
It's much the same as you because it is a worldwide event. We don't have much time left.
Guys, I'd probably just by my just what I think and what I've studied, I would probably say in the next few months maximum that we're going to have another big event. We know the economy is going to crash. But I think we're actually expecting, if people can try and get onto as much information about the Atlas Comet, I think it's the Atlas Comet is basically wormwood. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So I think if you really trying not to go on the sensationalist websites and the freaky websites,
Or the
just
Globers.
even try and mix it in with MSN, mainstream news, and other sites that aren't connected to mainstream news, and then you can sort of like put it together. So you can take this side, take this side, and bring them together, and probably meet in the middle, and you might get more of a broader idea or understanding of what's going on. It's funny how all the hospitals are still empty. It's like they're waiting for some big mass casualty event.
Well, thank you all for coming in. I run back from Oz Link. I thank you so much.
Thanks, Dave.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is from Australia. It's sunny and pretty there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. There's no chemtrails because there's no planes. It's like the best the skies have been for so long. They did hit us with HAARP for about 4 days, pretty hard though.
I won't tell her about the chemtrails over there. Don't worry.
No,
I'm
well,
looking
I
to
tell
see if
you,
there's any. I'm
Mike
looking to
Decker's
see if
gonna
there's
be
any questions.
Dave, just
Ma'am?
before I go, Dave, just before I go, I just want to give a shout out to a few people. I really want to give a big shout out to Mike Decker because the work he does with his tripod is amazing. People go on to Mike Decker YouTube, please, and subscribe. Richie from Boston, look, just do it, guys. Just humble yourselves. He's a hard nut. So am I.
Ex-military.
He's ex-military. Israeli News Live, Stephen Danoon. Shout out to Israeli News Live. I'm a moderator on Israeli News Live. Dr. Jean Kim. Shout out to Dr. Jean Kim. Okay? And I will just say one more that always makes me think. He's just makes me think so much. Is logic before authority.
Yep.
Logic before authority. I give him a shout out. That's Daniel Alexander Cannon. So they're
Yes,
about
ma'am.
my
I
favorite
watch
people I trust. Yeah,
I watch
trust
every
him.
one of his videos. I stay
Yes,
up with him all the time.
Logic before authority.
If you can try and just stick with those, just stick with
Yeah.
those. It's probably
Get your truth.
yeah, and subscribe to some military channels so you can sort of like see how military movements are happening around the world. It's that'll actually coincide with the pandemic and how it's moving along. So
Absolutely, guys. I actually am subscribed to NASA channel. NASA. NASA. Right? I am subscribed to because I keep an eye on them. I keep an eye on what they're doing and what they're saying. It is very important to watch the enemy and know his plans. Be prepared.
Watch out for the forked tongue.
Watch out for the forked tongue.
In NASA.
The vector is everywhere on every single space agency, but we're not going to go there.
No.
And we are out.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. They are out, ladies and gentlemen. That was an update from Australia. I have a video here I wanted to show. Let me see. We have 29 in the chat. Thank y'all for coming in. Awesome channels here, y'all. If you don't know each other, get to know each other for real. All right, let's see what this says. Dang, will it play? Let's see. I think that's the ad first.
Spectrum and enjoy faster surfing, streaming, and gaming.
They might shut me down.
Then lose yourself in the best in entertainment with more
If
HD
I talk
free on demand
during
with
this ad,
Spectrum TV. Switch now. for
then maybe it
$44.99
won't
a month
register.
each. Click to learn more.
Let's see what happens here.
All right, Illinois' governor, the latest to propose a shelter in place for his residents. That echoes what New York Governor Cuomo and California Governor Newsom have done in their respective states to limit residents from getting out, going to work, doing much of anything. It's not a lockdown, but for a lot of folks who are in the middle of it, it certainly feels like that. If you look at all the states that have variations of this, you're talking 80 million Americans. So roughly a quarter of the U.S. population. Again, that could grow at an abundance of caution, we're told, by a number of the governors using it, including the governor of Illinois just a few minutes ago. Let's get to read on how effective such measures are to combating a virus that seems to be spiraling out of control. Dr. Bob Lahita joins us now at St. Joseph University. He's the chairman of medicine there. Doctor, thank you for taking the time. I very much appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Neil. So you're asking about...
Go ahead. What do you think of this?
I think this is following the prescribed method of suppressing the infection. There's two things you can do. You can suppress the infection, which is to keep people away from potentially infected individuals. And that's the way to go in the beginning. We're seeing an uptick in the number of cases for sure in the hospital emergency room and as far as ambulance and 911 calls. So putting people in homes and apartments is a good way to suppress the infection rate. Social distancing that we practice now will cut a hole in this epidemic. So this is not so draconian as everybody thinks. Everybody's saying, oh my gosh, the sky is falling. We got to slow the infectious process, and that's mitigation. That's the next step. But that doesn't stop the spread. So it should be the first line of defense. It should not be the first line of defense. What should be the first line of defense is to suppress things. So that's why Governor Cuomo, I think, has chosen to keep all non-essential people out of the street, out of circulation, as it were.
In Florida, they had quite the other problem where people would congregate, but outdoors on a beach or what have you. Governor DeSantis here wanted to clamp down on that. He's going to address reporters in 10 minutes or so. What do you think of those type of gatherings?
I think those type of gatherings are terrible. I think that young people think that they're immune, no pun intended, to this infection, but they are not. In fact, we're seeing many of our most acute and most of our very, very sick cases are among 20 and 30-year-olds. So the initial thought that young people didn't have to worry is not the case. And to be in groups, closed groups, where there are more than, say, 20 people gathered is insanity as far as I'm concerned. And we're seeing people now, young people, children actually infected. Fortunately, we haven't had any terrible situations with children, but in young people, I'm surprised at the number of people around the state who are intubated. That means have a tube placed into their lungs so they could breathe better. These are young people and not necessarily older folks. Older folks are at the greatest risk, however, those with heart disease, diabetes, emphysema, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, they know who they are. They in particular should stay home and out of circulation.
Doctor, thank you very, very much. Who is coming down?
I just wanted to show how they're using paid doctors. This man may not even be a doctor. Doctors speak with difficult language, describing things in a way you don't understand, really, How they use the media and these fake doctors. I don't even believe Fauci is a real doctor. I appreciate everybody coming in. I appreciate that Premier Hale, Chrysler Imperial. Thank you for the double super chat, man. Don't let them instill fear in you, Beck from Oz, thank y'all for coming on. All the way from Australia. And she says she'll keep us updated. Y'all take care. Miss Ann Walsworth. Amor Maxine, hello and welcome in. AIFG. Ola Lopez, welcome. Ola Lopez, Susan Ann. Anna Trejo, God never promised things. Let me read a couple of you. God never promised things would be easy. We will have hard times, nevertheless. He doesn't give us more than we can handle and always shows us a way out. I do believe here in America, once people has freedom, that you can't take it away. And I think they're going to try. Sooner or later, I believe the American people are smart enough and they'll wake up. I believe that. We should worry more about that meteor. I know there's an asteroid coming close, April the 29th, 6 o'clock in the morning. That's if you don't believe in the flat earth. This community is full of flat earthers, and they have a reason to believe it, you know? Read the Bible. The Bible supports a flat earth. It doesn't say flat earth. Just like there's a lot of things the Bible don't say that man puts words into, you know? Just by opinion, which these are facts. No, your Father didn't give you a spirit of fear. A saved sinner, welcome in. Great to see you, a saved sinner. Thank you so much for coming in. Mark Rob did a Easter wreath video, y'all. I appreciate it, Mark Rob. Anybody don't know, Mark Rob did this painting back here for me. And I wish I could find that video I was talking about earlier. I have searched and searched. Susan Ann, thank you for coming in. Miss Ann Walsworth is a great lady. Thank you for coming in. Y'all are awesome. Great channels. I know y'all ready to go. Jenny Juice Real. Jenny Juice Real. Tell it like it is. Thank y'all so much for coming in. For real, I'm just trying to go through some names. Wild Style. Mass community are protesting and rioting. I don't think we should riot. I think we have a right to protest. And I saw on some other channels, they're taking our constitutional rights. I said this from the beginning. Once there's a national emergency been declared, there's a constitutional crisis. Meaning our Constitution is not in effect. And I saw on another channel where this president may not even have the power. I wonder what happened in them hearings. What about that? You remember them hearings where they tried to impeach him? Did they find something on him? Is he caving for that very reason? My mind's been working here the last couple of days, y'all. What is it that's brought this man the opposite of what he promised? Think about it. Did he make a deal with him? I'll go your way if you just leave it alone. I mean, I'm assuming I'm a human being and I have a right to think about it, you know, and bring questions up just like you do. We got someone late. I know. I appreciate you coming in and thank you so much. We keep dropping one by one, but this has been awesome. We've had 26, 27 people in the chat. I thought I saw 29 at one time. Now we have 18. And I got to go to bed, y'all. Look at that. We have another one from Aussie Land. Susan Ann. I can see your picture now. I'm from Aussie land too. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for coming in. You want to come in and tell us your experience? Hit that link. I'll give you 10 minutes. Hit the link in the chat, please. Aussie land. Tell us what's going on in your side of the country. You know, I'll give you 2 minutes to show up. If you show up, you can be here 10 minutes. I got to go to bed. So hurry up and get here within 2 minutes, if you will. Susan Ann, you're invited to come up and chat. Michael Joshua Lewis is also from there. Well, hello, my friend. I've watched a lot of your videos. I really have. And I've asked you to go across the field, man. You're welcome to come in and talk about it. I'll give you 10 minutes. I got to go to bed, but really, it's very important that you come in if you want to talk about it. Best video, best video. I wish I could remember where in the world I saw this 3-minute video. I cannot remember. I guess I'll have to find it and do it my next live stream. All right, 1 more minute. Hit that link. Don't get scared. Don't leave the stream if you don't want to come up. You're welcome to do whatever you want to do. I'm going to stay safe, but I'm going to do as I choose. I don't have masters, you know. I have one that I follow, and he's up above. The Life of JT, thank you. And happy Easter, my friend. What's up with that? The Life of JT, I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you very much. You could have saved that for my birthday later on this month. But I really appreciate it. Thank you and happy Easter to you. I did an Easter video. I bet y'all don't want to see that, do you? It's crazy, man. Thank y'all so much for the super chats. I don't know why that $1.99 is still up there at the top on my StreamYard. I'm scared going to hide under the bed. Don't get scared. Do not have any fear. I'm telling you. There's nothing to fear. If you get pulled over or they tell you to do this or that, it's best to comply. It's best to do that. But if you had, say, 100,000 people in a parade or in a protest, 100,000 to 1 million, that's a lot of people. What are they going to do? You tell me that right now. What are they going to do to 100,000 to 1 million people? Nothing. They can't. Chrysler Imperial, thank you, my friend. That's why people need to get together, my mans and my ladies and my friends. They're not going to take you anywhere. Hello, Travel Around. I appreciate you coming in. We just had Beck from Ozone from Australia again. She keeps us updated, you know. Travel Around is in the house, y'all. He's making his travel around. I appreciate all y'all. The Life of JT, Chrysler Imperial, Mark Robb, Michael Joshua Lewis. I hadn't seen him in a while. I don't even think he's been putting videos out as much as he used to. I don't know what else to do. I had a few videos played out and planned for this live stream, and I played them and planned it out. Anybody, one more chance here. If you want to come on, hit the link. You got 10 minutes. The only reason I say 10 minutes is because I got to go to bed. There's a lot of good information in this video. I really believe that. And we'll have good information the next time. I still have 18 in the chat. Nobody wants to come up. It's all good. Dang, now I can't even log into my account. Let me see. I was going to play a song on the way out. Let's see what happens. I should be more prepared, you know. I understand that. But I was giving you a few minutes if you wanted to come in live and tell us what's going on in your neck of the woods. What in the world? I got to go, y'all. Thank y'all. Who is that? If I don't know who it is, I'm not going to add you to the stream. It just says me. I don't know who me is. Y'all have a blessed night.